Hello friends, now this is our 5th lecture. So we saw that sound effect is enough. It's no need of a meaning. By just enjoying the sound, you can also enjoy the effect of poetry. This is what some people say. Belief in pure sound. And then as a defense, we have seen how Empson puts up a very strong defense against this. He quotes Dr. Johnson, and Dr. Johnson in Ramla number 92 has said that there should be accommodation of sound and meaning. Accommodation of sound and meaning. Sound to meaning. Understand? Now, again, another defense, he comes up with another defense. He says Milton uses the other way around. Milton doesn't bother about onomatopoeia at all. For example, the description of angry Job throwing Vulcan, see, angry Job throwing Vulcan down, he describes in these lines, sheer over the crystal battlements from morn to noon he fell, from noon to dewy eve, a summer's day, and with the setting sun dropped from the zenith. Dropped from the zenith. So if you read this, read it like this. So there is no sound effect there, but what you find is distance, time effect. Sheer over the crystal battlements from morn to noon he fell. So you get that feeling now, isn't it? From morning to noon, Vulcan fell. That is the scene is angry Job throwing Vulcan down. And then what happens is sheer over the crystal battlements from morn to noon he fell. He, Vulcan, fell. From noon to dewy eve. Dewy eve. So, morning, you get that impression of morning starting, then noon, and now this evening. A summer's day means a whole day, and in the setting, with the setting sun. So you get all from morning, noon, falling, he's falling faster and faster. Down, down. London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. So Vulcan is falling down, falling down, falling down. So what impression you get? The sense impression that you get is one of time, duration, not onomatopoeia or sound effect. So from sheer over the crystal battlements from morn to noon he fell, from noon to dewy eve, a summer's day, and with the setting sun dropped from the zenith. Zenith means the highest point or from heaven. So what you find is that distance. Also time. Falling started in the morning, went on to noon, continued the evening, and with the setting sun. Evening and then with the setting sun it is all. So when you read this line, there is no onomatopoeia. It doesn't create any effect by sounds, but by distance and time. So this is also possible. That's what Empson says. To those people who entertain a belief in pure sound, he says not only sound, but also some other devices can be used. Milton is extremely cool about the matter. Doesn't bother at all. Started falling. And then one is made to sit pleasantly in a shade and just all day long and watch the devil in falling. Watch the devil falling. All the time falling. Faster and faster. Poetic effect. So defense. That is, he says, it's not only sound effect, but there are other effects. So it means very cool. You sit under the shade of a tree, just watch. What happens? Vulcan is falling. Fast, 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 all day long, till with the setting sun it is over. Understand? Then another point that he brings up is, so you understand, it's not only onomatopoeia or sound effect, but there are other effects also that poets use, devices that poets use for creating this effect. Understand? Even without going deep into verbal analysis. That's the question that 7 types of ambiguity is verbal analysis. Just finding out what are the possible meanings. And ambiguity arises when you can analyze something. Isn't it? Something can be explained. Only then ambiguity, the problem of ambiguity comes in. Listen. Now again you see Johnson says synesthesia could create poetic effects. Synesthesia is sometimes very effective. Not only sound, that's what we are trying to say. Trying to put up a defense against those people who said that pure sound is enough, verbal analysis is not required for the understanding of poetry. That's what we are trying to say. So first we saw Milton, and now we have got Johnson. Johnson says synesthesia. Well, synesthesia is a figure of speech by which what you do. One sense impression is expressed by another sense. For example, you say, I smell trouble. Example, see. I smell trouble. Now actually what you should use is I experience trouble or I see trouble. So the trouble should be experienced not by your nose. How can you experience trouble by your nose? Trouble should be experienced either in your mind or in your thoughts or even eyes. See trouble there. I see trouble. I see trouble. So this trouble is one of them we will fix. This trouble is a sense impression of the eyes. But instead we are using that sense impression of the eye with expressing that sense impression through the sense impression of the nose. Instead of eye, we are using nose. This is the figure of speech called synesthesia. Understand? Or you can see other examples. See, Swinburne, a very famous example, Swinburne, says that thy voice is an odor that fades in a flame. Swinburne says, thy voice is an odor. Odor means smell that fades in a flame. So this is again you can see. The voice is a smell. Voice cannot be smell. Voice is a sense impression that you get through your ears. But here it is, he uses it as if it is a smell. That is something that you experience through your nose. One sense impression is expressed through another, using another sense impression. Or one understanding through another understanding. That is simple English, if you put it like that. That fades in a flame. How can smell fade in a flame, disappear in a flame? It cannot. Smell can disappear in the air. So smell cannot disappear in flame. Then again you see, instead of air, the poet is using flame. So this is for unconnected or unrelated images are put together. In this case it is like that. Unrelated images. Understand? That is synesthesia. Now, when you read this, you get an effect, no? That is It's not onomatopoeia, it is the use of a figure of speech. That's all. Figures of speech, of course, they do create effect in the mind of the reader. The sensations, of course. As far as Poe is concerned, Edgar Allan Poe, he thinks everything in color. And that William Empson says, mescal eaters, if you are in the habit of eating mescal, just as we saw, ganja we saw. So they are psychedelic. Ganja is a psychedelic drug, you can say. There are psychedelic drugs. You see hallucinations, you see illusions and delusions and all the illusions you see. Like that, mescal it is. This is from Mexico. What you get is mescal is from Mexico. So mescal it is, they see everything in color. So that is another way you can create. Spencer, for example, color. Kids, color. That is, you get the color. You have a feeling of color. So that is a poet effect is created by Spencer, by Poe, and also by Keats. Most of the sensuousness now. That's what it is. Sensuousness. This is not or sound, but sensuousness. You feel. You have a when you read lines from Spencer, stanzas of Spencer, or when you read lines from Keats, you find this your senses are affected. Sensuous, that is, feelings. Understand? So that way also you can create. And then what happens, Richard Paget, you have heard, no? Richard Paget, another person. Richard Paget. So according to Richard Paget, he says that language is nothing but tongue-lip gesture. Words are tongue-lip gestures. Words are tongue-lip gestures. So the movement of your lips and tongue can create effects or meanings. For example, when you say, you. See, the lips move towards the speaker. You. Or when you say, huge. You get that feeling. Huge. Something big. Why? But the tongue is drawn backward. And something like a small hill. It forms a hill in the back, at the back of the tongue. So you get a huge. See that? And you get a you, like this. The lips are moving towards the speaker. Again, we, the lips are moving towards the one who speaks, not the second person, the first person. We don't say we, that we don't. We say we. See, this towards this. So, according to Richard Paget, words are nothing but tongue-lip gestures. So that way also you can create. By gestures also you can. Means when you read out, you are looking at your facial expressions or gestures that you make with lips and tongue. You can also understand the meaning of lines in a poem. So it's not only onomatopoeia, but there are different other ways also. Understand? Now there's another person. See, we have seen Miss Sitwell. And what does Sitwell say? Sitwell is she defies this. She says the main meaning, it is unimportant. She says it's unimportant. Another person is supporting pure belief in pure soul. The main meaning is unimportant. The main meaning is not at all necessary for understanding poems. The reader must put himself in the poetic or receptive frame of mind. That's what she says. Miss Sitwell says, Miss Sitwell. So she is actually defying this idea of, in a way, she's not in favor of verbal analysis. She's not in favor of the main meaning. How do you how do you try to get the main meaning by verbal analysis? She's against that. She defies that. What the reader should do is put yourself or oneself the poetic or receptive frame of mind. What does that mean? Get ready. And suppose you are going, before reading, suppose you are going to read a poem by 2 or 3 lines, a poem as Westward, for example. So first you have to put yourself in that frame of mind. I'm going to read a poem by Shelley, and that is Westward. And then they say, get ready for that and then start reading. Then your poetic frame of your mind here, that will give you the meaning. That's what she says. But whatever these theories are, so we have been now discussing, before entering into the verbal analysis that is planned by or the projects of William Empson, he says that there are some people who say that verbal analysis is unimportant. And especially those people who stress the importance of sound. They give support also. Homer's poems used to be read out. Homer's poems used to be read out. And then again we can see, there were, before writing down poetry, there were minstrels going around singing. See that? And before you start writing, you start speaking, isn't it? So oral comes first, written comes next. So these are the people who say that pure sound is enough. Verbal analysis is not required. But then you find examples of Milton using time and distance, and you saw Johnson saying that there should be accommodation of sound and sense. Sound and sense should accommodate each other. There should be, the mere sound will not do, but it should be also, so you have to have that meaning. Meaning should be there. That you have to accept that point. Then again Milton, so Johnson says that synesthesia is another way of creating effect. Sometimes it can be effective. Then you further saw that Edgar Allan Poe and Spencer and Keats, they use color. So that they are using, for poetic effect, they use color, sensuous language they use, color and sensuous language. Not onomatopoeia, sensuous language. And Richard Paget is another person who says that it is gesture. The words are tongue, lip, gestures. The examples also we have seen. Too many examples we may not find, but some examples are enough, I think, for it. And Miss Sitwell, she says that it is, what is necessary is not the meaning, but poetic frame of mind to be effective. Reading your poetry, to be effective, you must put yourself in a poetic frame of mind. And finally we come to the conclusion. What is the conclusion? The conclusion is that sound of words does not enter that part of the mind where it is effective. Understand? The sound alone will not enter into that part of the brain where it should become effective. Means sound, it is peripheral. So if there is no meaning, sound is not connected with meaning, then what happens? If there is no connection between sound and meaning, it will not affect that part of the brain, see, where it should create effect. So for creating effect in that part of the brain, that is your understanding. See, you understand and enjoy. This sound alone, but if you understand and enjoy, for that words should affect as words. Only words which has meaning can affect or create an effect in that part of the brain where it ought to make effect. Listen, take effect. It has to take effect. If you just some sounds, sometimes the waves may reach the brain, but the point of cognition, to understand and then enjoy a piece of poetry, you need a correspondence between sound and meaning. Or ask, Dr. Johnson has said, accommodation. Accommodation. Listen, between sound and meaning. Sound alone will not do. Color alone will not do. Or distance and time alone will not do. See, when you read, sheer over the crystal battlements from morn to noon he fell, he means Vulcan. From noon to dewy eve, a summer's day, a whole summer's day, and with the setting sun dropped from the zenith. You have that distance as well as time. So it creates an effect, isn't it? So if on the other hand, you just listen only to the sound, and the Hamlet says, no, if thou didst ever hold me in thy heart, absent thee from felicity a while, and draw thy breath in pain to tell my story. Suppose you have only the sound effect, you won't be able to enjoy that. But the meaning also. See, that is verbal analysis also. Then what happens? If thou didst ever hold me in thy heart, see that connection. Then what happens is, it will create ripples in your brain. So when you hear something, it should create some effects, waves in your brain. For that, the sound and the meaning, there should be correlation, correspondence between sound and meaning. Otherwise, sound alone will not create any tangible effect in that part of the brain where it should take effect. That's the conclusion. So okay, so on to verbal analysis. There's one more objection is there, and that is about atmosphere that we will see tomorrow. So, in the next class. So these two, that is 4 and 5, deals with 4 and 5 deal with this point, that is belief in pure sound, and his argument against Empson's argument against this, his defense, and he takes authorities like Milton, then Dr. Johnson, Swinburne, and say other poetic effect by other means, that is Spencer, and you have got Keats and Miss Sitwell. She says poetic frame of mind is not even sound. I think you have been following this argument point by point I have given you. If you have any doubt, of course you can contact me. We will try to explain it further. But the interesting point I want to make is that this is not the major part of the 7 types of ambiguity. This is only a defense of it. Because some people are objecting to that, and so he is giving an answer, that's all. The main part is yet to come. That is, understand? heard melodies are sweet, but those unheard are sweeter. That is, we haven't started the ambiguities one after another. This only heard melodies. That is what we should say about sound effect and all those things. Now tomorrow in the next class we will see atmosphere effect. Some people say atmosphere is enough. That is, when you say take for example, see when you see the hallucination scene in Macbeth, there is an atmosphere created, oh, that is enough. There is no need of verbal analysis and so on. This. Or when you read that part of the poem in the wasteland, see, when you see that part of the poem, there is game of chess. So 5 tragic stories of 5 women you will find that. So when you read that, an atmosphere is created. Especially the first one, the nervous lady. So what shall we do now? What shall we ever do? The nervousness. When you read like that, what happens is you get an atmosphere is created. And also you can see from the beginning, second part, that is a game of chess. About the first 20-25 lines are nothing but atmosphere. So some people say that atmosphere is enough. Now verbal analysis is required. Some others say that, as we have seen, sound is enough. Now verbal analysis is required. Now for this, for the first one we have already answered. Not only we, that is the Empson has already answered. The second one we will see in the next class. Afterwards we will end into heard melodies, those unheard melodies. That means 7 types of ambiguities, one after another. Hope that you are enjoying. Have a nice time. Enjoy your life.